All right, so we're back again, trying to wrap out this set of videos that I already did, but decided I hated. Um, so I was going to talk about diets, especially diets in recovery. Um, I feel gut health and diet fads really kind of pop up in early sobriety. And, even from personal experience on it, I've noticed how, even I bought into it, there for a little bit. That fit recovery guy, I hung on what he had to say, on pins and needles. And I went out and bought all those supplements and tried all those different ways to, make it work. It didn't work. So I thought I would kind of weigh in on diets, how it plays a factor in your mental health, and how it also plays a factor in your recovery. So to qualify myself just a little bit, because I feel like I need to, I am just kind of a random dude on the internet. So I feel like I need some sort of qualifications, and here they are. So I have a undergraduate in biochemistry. I worked in undergrad in the athletics department for my college, and I took several classes on personal training, nutrition, diet, and all that. So long story short, I know my shit. Now, to kind of tackle that supplement debate that everybody has, so by the very definition, it's not going to be your fix, right? Like if you were supplementing your cost, you're already negative. That's why you need the supplement to get back up to what you were making or earning or whatever, you know. Same with supplements, especially dietary ones. I don't know if anybody else is aware of this, but also supplements and vitamins are completely unregulated by the FDA. Meaning you can put whatever the fuck you want on a label and put a little asterisk next to it and have that asterisk mean individual dosages may vary, and it fucking works. So I'm not super big into supplements, if you can't tell. I do take them. I take a vitamin D pill, 3 of them actually, at 500 milligrams, because I'm inside all day. And I take a fish oil, and that's it. That's it. If I want testosterone boosters, I go eat broccoli. The reasoning behind that one and that statement is testosterone boosters are such a crock of shit. The max that you can have is just the max. So if you're already operating at 100% testosterone, which you are, by the way, because it is down regulated, meaning when you have 100%, it gets turned into something else. It'll get turned into estrogen, which that's fun. So you ever take a whole bunch of testosterone boosters and end up with tits? Tits, as I stutter over this, and I can't seem to turn this TV on. Anywho, so ranting aside, diet definitely plays a big role in your mood and your phrasing or perception, and especially in early recovery. When I first got sober, my gut health was abysmal at best. Didn't matter if I was eating healthy because I didn't have the bacteria to absorb it. So it was kind of a moot point anyway. But kind of getting into basic stuff. I feel like I shouldn't have to say this, but I will. So if you want to lose weight, it's less calories in than what you put out. If you want to gain weight, you eat more calories than you expend. Seems simple. Where we get complicated is in these different types of diets. I stick with the if it fits your macro diet because it works for me. I don't like restricting myself. That's what happens on Weight Watchers, Atkins, keto, which, by the way, keto, like all you're doing is cutting out carbs. I don't know where that myth that it speeds up alcohol withdrawal. Like, no. The whole reason you're in withdrawal is because you don't have any sugar. So you're already irritable, and your plan is to not eat any sugar at all. Like, at least get some fruit, man. Like, what the hell? So, yeah, there's keto, there's vegan, there's vegetarian, there's paleo, there's the Mediterranean diet. I'd even heard of a blood type diet where your diet is kind of based off your blood type. Kind of a duh, but needed to be said. And like for me, I'm AB. And it says in AB that I should avoid caffeine and alcohol and only eat fish and chicken or poultry, as they put it. Bet. I mean, I'm still going to eat a steak, but I wouldn't worry too much on, eating too much steak. Steak's expensive, right? So that's kind of some dieting. I realize I didn't go over a lot of it, but the main points on it, saturated and unsaturated fats. Those are whether or not there's a double carbon bond in there, meaning a carbon's bonded to another carbon twice. These fats are super critical, actually, in cell membranes. And the reason that trans fats are so bad for you is because they can go from a single bond to a double bond in the blink of an eye. And that can cause a lot of problems with something that is kind of like your barrier. If it willy-nilly can become permeable, unpermeable, whatever, like that's kind of an issue. So that's where all of that stuff kind of comes from. Diets, I've seen where not having enough sugar in your diet can actually make you aggressive. Having too much sugar for a prolonged time, we've all seen that. Salt intake. I wasn't really aware of how much salt I was eating or consuming until I started getting sober and I started getting hangovers from McDonald's. So I ended up having to cut out the fast food for the most part. And FYI, this commission ended up becoming like kind of a training ground for me. I spray painted it all black, and then I added in gray, and I tried to add in Mod Podge here and there, but I didn't really like how it turned out. Those outcroppings just became so much more pronounced once I started gluing them down that I couldn't find a way to like make it more gradual. So I turned them into water or shallow water. Like they can still traverse across them, but they move slower, I guess was my thought process on it. there, I had just added some finishing touches, and I am dry brushing white on it and testing out the bridges that I wanted for it. I thought it was, I don't know, you need bridges. You need bridges in my mind for this. But all in all, this was a really great project. I was talking about diets. God damn it. So, as we're kind of jumping into the diets and everything, these are all well and good. And, it's great that you are starting to understand and build better diets. But at the same token, like, you need to factor in what you're doing. Is it even possible? Like, oh God, that smells awful. Protein shake. Oh, just gonna put that in the dirty cup section. And we're just gonna close that and press this button and forget about it. So yeah, you need to really kind of think about, like, is it even feasible? Like, can I even do Atkins or this Mediterranean diet or this or that on the budget that I have? Those things are expensive, especially eating organic. That can get real expensive real quick. So you got to factor that in. Excuse me. When I first started taking this nutrition aspect a little bit more serious, I started looking at that. I started looking and seeing how much was coming in, what was possible. Here I am 3 months sober at this point, and I'm trying to figure out, like, why I keep getting headaches and why I am so disgruntled all the time. Well, maybe it's my diet, So I started looking at that. And actually, I will say this, and then I'll shut up. But I was 3 months sober, and in my head, I had already planned to drink. Like, it was happening. It was a done deal. Like, let's move past it. My father was out of town for the weekend. There was no way anybody was going to know. And I went to where'd I go? I went to a Casey's, and that Casey's was closed. And so I went to another gas station, and that one was closed. And I was like, what the hell? And there was one gas station that was still open. And but it was like across town and like past a really busy street that I didn't want to cross. And so I just went home, and I basically filibustered until that gas station closed, and I went to bed. Next day I went to physical therapy, and I asked them, and they asked me about my diet and what I did for a living. And I told him, and he looked at me and said, you need to take more vitamin D. And I did. And I have not had the urge to drink since. So it really says something to it. I used to take all these anti-anxiety medications, mood stabilizers, and all of this. And I started running and eating right. And those problems kind of corrected themselves. So it's, as much as I hate to say it, food for thought. Listen, maybe you might find something. I encourage you to to look into your diet. Just start by tracking your diet for a week and see what that looks like and make adjustments. All right. Well, that's all I got. I'm one bored dude. If you've made it this far, thank you. Consider subscribing, and we'll see you later.